is that is the connecting piece. But
But I've seen you post about that a lot, though, about, like, what were you doing before all this came about? Like, everybody is streaming. Yeah, everybody.
You are learning our worth, and y'all are scared. So scared that the last thing y'all could do is put in law.
On mute, but I was holding still because my face always tells a whole story, so I was trying to act like I was frozen, but I'm really not. It's okay. So yes. I'm speechless. And I know that's hard. You're like, Crystal, speechless? Yes, I am speechless. I sent out an email about becoming a brand ambassador for Go Beautiful, and the response has been overwhelming. So I am speechless. I want to thank everyone for responding. I will get to all of your emails as soon as I can. For those who did not receive an email, you can send your inquiry to info@gobeautiful.com, and in the subject line you will put brand ambassador. Becoming a brand ambassador for Go Beautiful means that you will receive a code, and by sharing this code, everyone that uses the code will save when they shop at gobeautiful.com. And the amazing part of that is that every time they use the code, you, the brand ambassador, will earn some money. It's just great all the way around. They save and you earn. But not only do you earn, you will get all the access to Go Beautiful events. You will get firsthand, you will be able to get products for free and new products. So if you are interested in becoming a brand ambassador for Go Beautiful, again, send your email to info@gobeautiful.com. And please do not leave me speechless anymore, because I don't think the kids can take it, Mama not speaking. Okay? I love you all.
Want to make videos but you get too shy? Bestie, we got you. Videos are a great way to catch attention and introduce your brand. Here at Besties, we offer video ads using animation to get your ideas to come alive. We offer the following animations: office, concepts, education, food, healthcare, holidays, and many more. We also offer 3 different animation styles to choose from. Let's watch your engagement grow together. What are you waiting for? Let's be besties in business.
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Besties Building Brands podcast. I am Alter Ego, and we have my beautiful co-host, Crystal the Connector, and we have a special guest today, Miss Esther Rich. She is the owner and founder of Special Touch Car Creations. So let's just welcome her to the show. All right. And so before we get started with the introductions and get into the actual interview, we want to play our game, or this or that game. So we ask the questions. You have to shout out the answer, without thinking about it, the first thing that comes to mind. So are you ready? I switched it up a little bit this week, so you don't know, Crystal. You don't know what I'm going to ask. All right. So the first one is cash or credit?
Credit.
Cash. Hot coffee or iced coffee?
Hot coffee.
Red wine or white wine?
White wine.
Salad or sandwich?
Sandwich.
Salad, because I'm training for a 5K.
Lose sleep or skip a meal?
What was that?
Lose sleep or skip a meal?
Oh, skip a meal.
Cooking or be cooked for?
Be cooked for.
Yeah.
Passenger or driver?
Driver.
Driver.
Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
Netflix.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Android.
Okay. I need my last couple guests were Android, so I need another iPhone user to ride with me on the show. So, all right, so let's just get into it. Miss Esther is one of my mom's besties. They've been friends for over 40 years, so it is a privilege to have you on the show. So, just start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Well, as Khadijah's alter ego said, I'm Esther Rich. My business is Special Touch Card Creations. You're a one of a kind greeting. I design and I create beautiful greeting cards. I take the words from your heart and I turn them into a one of a kind sentiment that touch the heart of your receiver. My business began on a seed being planted from my husband in May of 2016. In the past I had done some cards, but never at the level that I am designing cards and other products now. And so my business was launched in August of 2016, and I'll be celebrating my 5-year anniversary in August of this year. Um, what makes my business so special is because I personalize and I customize cards for my customers and for their intendeds. You know, most people, and I've been one of them in the past, you go to your local retailer and you read and you read and you read. Before you know, you look at your watch, you done spend 20 minutes standing there reading all these different cards because one card has the image, another card has a line that you like, and another card has a line in the sentiment that you like. But with my cards that I will design and create for you, I offer personalized and customized. The customers love their names in the sentiment, hearing things that are just shared by my customer and the intended in the sentiment. I offer mailing services. I do invitations for weddings, birthdays, all holiday cards. And I also have a line of products that I do as well. And anything that's made with paper, I pretty much can do.
So let's get into like the beginning. I know you said that your husband gave you planted the seed for the idea, but let's start before that. Like, what were you doing? You know, we always ask our guests, what did you want to be when you grew up? So was it, you know, did you always know that you wanted to be a creative, an
Yeah.
entrepreneur?
Mm-mm.
So, so how
So,
did everything start?
Dee, as you know, I worked with your mom, and I worked with her for many, many years for the state. And when I retired in 2005, my plan was to have a card business called Miss Essie Creations.
Mhm.
That was going to be the name of my card business. So I retired in June of 2005. In August of 2005, I was sitting up in my back room and I was sorting out paper, like designer paper that I had piles and piles of paper, and I was sorting it out. I was sitting on the floor in that back room on one of the hottest days in August. The door was shut, the ceiling fan was going, the air conditioner was running in the window, and I felt like I was on an island somewhere in a cave away from
Mhm.
the whole world. And at that point, I knew that sitting up in that back room trying to, just, do cards or do whatever it was, my plan was at that time, I was doing some business cards and stationery and flyers and things like that. I knew that wasn't for me. So
Mhm.
I ended up working outside the home for the next several years. And in between that, I did, if people called me for cards, I would do a few cards, but it was nothing really at the level of design that I'm doing now. I just kind of personalized software. So I ended up getting involved in a couple MLMs and learned a lot of personal development. And through that time, I was one of those uh, people in the retailers standing there reading cards as well. It was actually your Aunt Jackie that contacted me earlier in 16 and said, "Are you still doing cards?" Because she ordered different things from me, periodically. And I thought about it and I said, "Do I want to start doing that again?" And I'm a person that's always up for a challenge. So I said, "Sure." She needed 10 Mother's Day cards. And I, that was the first time I actually went online to see what other card crafters were doing. And I was looking and I'm like, well, I'm way behind here.
Yeah.
I'm nowhere near what they're doing. And I invested about $500 into my business, getting started again and, buying different tools and things that I had never, owned before. And it took my creativity and my design to an altogether different level.
And the fact that your cars are unique and they're, crafted for the person that's ordering it gives your business a point of difference that others don't have. Miss Michelle said your cars are lovely and unique. Yeah, like that's what we need. People are out here copycats. Everything is the same. I was talking to
Yeah.
you, Miss Esther and Crystal. When we went to the expo, it was really nice, but everybody was doing the same thing.
Mhm.
And I like what you said about investing, in your business. A lot of people don't do that.
Mhm.
Crystal, any
When you are in your creative mode with your cards,
Mhm.
do you get information from, um, say, someone contacts you and they want a card? Do you get information from them so you'll know what to put in the card, like their likes, or like if they want something special, if they have their own special poem or special saying, or something that that it's only from them. So when they look at the card, they'll know, oh yeah, this is from that person.
So, so on my website, which I don't get too many orders on my website. Most of the time, people reach out to me. And in my workbook, that where I take my orders, I have the first thing that's set up is the genre of the card. So, what type of card is it? What size card is it? I offer 4 different size cards. Also, the image. What is the intended? What do they like? Flowers? Do they like angels? I mean, just whatever it is that the intended for the customer, what they want. Is there a special color? And is there anything special you want to tell me about this person? So I've had people say, my aunt, she's funny. She's been like more like my sister than my aunt. And I take what information they give me and I put the sentiment together. Once I come up with the image and once I come up with the sentiment, I take a picture of it and then I send it, I text it to my customer for approval. Nothing gets glued down until my customer approves it. And I always tell my customers, please, please feel free to say, change this, change that, because that is what my business is about, customizing and personalizing. So feel free to critique any design I come up with. I have to say, I really haven't had too many changes to make because usually I hit the nail on the head. And what does it for me is when and a lot of cards I mail. A lot of times, I do offer mailing services. So a lot of times end up mailing cards because they're going to another city or another state for my customers. But when they do see the picture or when they do pick it up, what does it for me is when their face lights up and I can see that I met their vision of the card that they wanted me to design. And that's everything to me. That's what does it for me.
Linda Scott said, very unique indeed and beautiful. My question for you is, Oh, Miss Michelle said that she likes that you offer mailing services. So I wanted to know, did you have anybody that inspired you, that you look up to, that kind of helps you along the path, mentor, something like that?
Um, I'm gonna tell you who my inspiration is and who my biggest cheerleader is, and that is my husband. I have to say that my office would not be what it is today without his help. He has utilized different holidays and different times of gift giving, and he has, like, I had a lot of pain in my shoulder last year. I found out that I have a bone spur and a tear. He bought me for, was Valentine's Day, a Gemini, because a Gemini die cutting machine is electric. So he is my biggest cheerleader. He really is. He inspires me when I'm a networker, so I'm out there, I'm an ambassador for the chamber down here in Dover, and I'm starting to get back into networking. But even prior to that, when I was running out 2 and 3 days a week, my husband always had my back. So he has been my real encourager, and he's been my rock through this whole process.
Do you see your cards in big retail stores like Target, Hallmark, or specialty
I,
shops?
I really don't. What I do see, where I do see my cards, and my goal last year was to get into at least 2 gift stores here down somewhere down here down in Delaware. But then the COVID hit, and that is still my goal now that we're starting to open back up again, and I'm starting to get out there and meet people. There's a gift shop in Smyrna, which is not very far from me, and I plan on visiting them. There's a bridal shop who's a member of the chamber, not far from where I live, downtown Dover. I plan on connecting with that young lady. So I have to honestly say that through COVID, because of COVID, it really opened up a lot for me and my business, because the referral group called Seven that we were meeting in the Smyrna Diner every Tuesday, we began Zooming, and it gave me an opportunity to meet women and men from other chapters all across the country. So I have customers now in Florida, Michigan, Arizona, Pennsylvania, that are reaching out to me for cards. And also, I also have included like little gift, like sometimes I have my customers will ask me, well, my uncle, he's turning 90. I just did a card for an uncle turning 90. And she wanted him to have like some little candy, something. So I have these little plastic hearts, and I put some shredded paper in there, and I put in some soft mints, the real soft mints. And then I put a real cute little tag on it, and that went along in the package with the card. So, those are the kind of little things that I do. I do Post-it note holders, shopping list holders, journals. I cover different little tablets and embellish them. Um, I cover miniatures. As a matter of fact, I was found on Google. My business was found on Google. A young lady called me back in June, and she said, "Is this Special Touch Card Creations?" And I said, "Yes." And she says, "Do you do wedding invitations?" I said, "Yes." And so she said, "Oh, I'm so glad I found you." I said, "Well, how did you find me?" On Google.
And you know
So
why
that
that's
was
so dope? That's so dope
exciting.
because when you think about it, you guys, you and my mom, Miss Michelle, you guys, came from the generation of, get a job, work 30 years, retire, and just live your life. And the fact that you're
Yep.
like an entrepreneur and a creative and you're getting found on Google, like that is like awesome. That's not, that's a good thing. It's like really dope that you're doing that and that you're like really doing well. And I also want to touch on the fact that you spoke a lot about networking, because that's what we do at Besties. You know, we want to connect people to other people to help grow each other's business. You know, a lot of people are working in these silos, working alone when they don't have to. So you sell cards. I'm a wedding planner. Why don't we, you know, cross promote each other's business? You know, Crystal and I talk about that a lot. So I just think that's something else that's awesome, that you are already touching into that, and you're seeing that is growing your business, and it's working. This is what we're trying to teach people and promote,
Yeah.
that it works.
Oh, it
Networking
does.
works, and
But the
Google does
whole thing
too.
is, but the whole thing is the people, when they go to networking events, they think that by giving somebody their card, they're instantly going to get business, and that's the mindset. That is
Mm-hmm.
not the purpose of networking. The purpose of networking is, what can I do to help you? Because when I
Mm-hmm.
help you, I'm going to get automatically get helped. That's the
Mm-hmm.
way networking is supposed to be. It's about building a relationship. It's
Mm-hmm.
about, having those conversations. When I meet people, when I go to networking events, and I see a person standing by themselves, I walk up to them and I say, "Well, I see you over here all alone." I said, "Well, how you doing?" And I'll ask them their name and what do you do, and tell me a little bit about your business. I always let them talk first.
Mm-hmm.
Then I give them an opportunity to then say, "Oh, well, what do you do?" And well, they'll look at my badge because I have my badge, and they'll say, "So, what is Special Touch Card Creations?" And I'll look at them and smile and say, "I design and create beautiful greeting cards," and that's all
Mm-hmm.
I say. And then they say,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, can I have a card?" And then I pass them my card.
Yeah. But you're right though. A lot of times people are only in it for what they can get out of it. So if you go into it
Yeah.
with that mindset, you won't be successful. Miss Michelle said, "How does your ambassadorship help your business?"
Well, what it does is, every month I'm assigned a new member, and getting to know new members of the chamber, introducing them around at different networking events, um, answering their questions about membership and all the benefits that members have. Also, just ensuring that if they have any questions or concerns, they don't always have to call the chamber. They could call me,
Mm-hmm.
and as a matter of fact, there was a young lady. She's a realtor. She's one of my mentees. And we were at it. Her and her husband came to the last networking event last month. It's always the last Wednesday of the month. I took her and her husband all around the room and introduced her to all the different people that I knew there. And so while we were talking, I said to her, "Well, have you scheduled your ribbon cutting yet?" She said, "Oh, I thought I had to be a member a year." I said, "No, no, 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 no,
Mm-hmm.
no." I said, "Call the chamber tomorrow." I said, "I think it's Dina. Call her, get your ribbon cutting scheduled." And I said, "Let me know, whatever you need." So we've been talking, and I've been like letting her know, to just keep it light, water, some light snacks, do it
Mm-hmm.
around, 11:30 to 1, like a 30-minute thing. Of course, I'll be there for her ribbon cutting, holding her ribbon. And,
Mm-hmm.
I just told her anything she needs, just let me know. A lot of members join the chamber, but they don't, and I encourage them to please do the orientation so you can really know all the benefits that the chamber offers. And then they also have coffee coaching. Sometimes the subject matter does not reflect your business. It's more like
Mm-hmm.
for larger businesses, especially coming out of COVID. They had like a lot of a series on how to get your business back up and running after COVID. So it didn't really reflect a lot of people. But what I do every month is, when we're getting about a week before, and this has to do with Michelle's question. About a week before the event, I always scan the flyers for the event, and I email all my mentees from all of them, even some I have never even met. I email them all the flyer to and just ask them if their schedule permits. Please come out. I would love to meet you face to face. I would like to take you around and introduce you to people. And help them grow their business.
I actually want to ask both of you a question. Crystal and I, we both have a MLM background as well.
Mhm.
So my question to both of you is, because I'm hoping that people are listening, is that
Mhm.
how did being in an MLM affect you as an entrepreneur for your own business? At Besties, we are proponents for MLMs. We love them. We think that they are a good way to get, started in business. So I just want you guys to just shed some light on how it's helped you with your own business.
Crystal, you go ahead because I've been talking.
For me, being in the MLM has helped me with professional development. Sometimes I know when we first start getting out, and the first real MLM that everyone knows about, long Avon, going door to door. Avon is calling, handing out your, the magazines and getting the orders. And as MLM started to become more popular and other businesses started, you realize that you do need professional development, and it's basically for yourself. So that helped me understand me, what works for me, what doesn't work for me, how to be successful, planning, goal setting, because when you first started, I don't know, for me, when I first started, I just need to make some money. I didn't care, I just need to make some money. And there wasn't really a goal around it. The goal was to make money. It wasn't the steps that were included or involved with it. And that helped me as an entrepreneur, knowing that you have to set some goals. Yes, you want to make some money, but how are you going to make that money and making the money last and repeating itself? And also, speaking to people. People say I'm a people person, but I'm not. I'm an introvert. Being in the MLM has helped me. I don't care about your eye rolling, Khadijah. Being in the MLM has helped me operate on the extrovert level, but I am a very, very introverted person. So
Mm.
having the parties helped me speak to people. Having the
Mhm.
parties also helped me operate on the extrovert level when needed to be, because I needed to make the money for the goal that I had set. It helped me connect with other women who were also introverts like Khadijah,
Mhm.
and also letting them know that if I can, they can. And you know, it brought some fun into it, that it's not always serious, that you can have
Mhm.
fun in business, and you can be successful with an MLM and also on your own. So that's me.
Well, my answer is this. First of all, I had never heard the word entrepreneur in my life until I joined Organo Gold. Never heard that word because all I knew was you go to school, you get good grades, you graduate, you either go to college or you get a job. And, I was fortunate and blessed enough to latch on to the state, to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And I stayed there for 32 years. So, entrepreneur, I came from a blue collar family. Entrepreneur, no, never. I never had even had a creative bone in my body, ever, until I turned 51. But let me just say this. You are absolutely correct about that personal development. Um, I probably lost money in the organic gold business. I made a lot of money, but I was not business headed enough to know that you got to deduct for all these meetings and traveling and getting on the planes and conventions and hotels and meals. All I know was I had a big team. My checks was like 12, 14, $1,600 a month, but it didn't last. That's what I know. But the journey was needed, because if I had never had that journey, I don't think that I would be anywhere where I am now. That journey and the Melaleuca journey, because I was also I did Melaleuca for a couple of years. I'm still a customer, but I have no, and I know that Melaleuca is a great company, but it is health and wellness. There are hundreds of health and wellness businesses, companies out here. There is only one Special Touch Card Creations. And I love the fact that I have little to no competition, especially down in where I'm living. I have little to no competition. And I know that Melaleuca has a lot of incentives, money incentives. And the guy who had brought me in, he's tried to pull me back in a couple times, but I don't have passion for that. I have passion for what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. And I'm very satisfied, joyful, and peaceful with it. And to me, that's when you love what you do, it's never work.
Yep. Linda said, "Woohoo for the state." Passion is very important from Miss Michelle. And then she also said, "Didn't you do an art in MLM too?"
You know what? She is absolutely right. Ethnic expressions. Let me tell you, I was out there lugging them pictures, them frames. You know what, Miss? I forgot all about that. I sure
love
did. I did
ethnic
that.
expressions. I love that
I do.
company.
As a matter of fact, I came to your mother's house in McDonough for the very first time. That's how I got involved.
Yep.
I forgot all about that part of my life.
You said I'm always right. So her question is, as an introvert, is virtual a better fit in your work than in person? And I just want to say something, Miss Crystal the Connector. Maybe you're an ambivert, but you're definitely not an introvert, okay? Maybe you're both. Because you absolutely, I don't know anybody that would believe that you're an introvert. But okay.
I wouldn't believe you. I looked at your commercial. Your commercial, you were not introverted at all in that commercial.
You haven't even seen her other commercials, okay? You
That
have
is
to go back and watch your commercials.
Okay, so the question is virtual a better fit in your work than in person? Maybe that would be a yes if I was doing virtual when virtual first started, because not everybody was on. Now virtual for me is draining because you have to stay constant, you have to stay relevant, you have to stay on, and it's forever changing. The algorithms are forever changing. Before you could post and you could say post your picture and your comment and the description of your product or whatever your services, and that was it. Now you got to do a video, you got to do a reel, you got to do a stream. And even though they do have other apps that will help you be more productive with your content where you're not on there all day, but you still have to do it, and it does take a large amount of time developing your content, not just posting it but also developing it. So I just gotta roll with the punches. I don't know about the ambivert. I heard Amber Alert and not ambivert.
I think for me, being an introvert,
being who I am, I can adapt to all situations. So if it causes for me to be an extrovert, I know that being an extrovert, operating on an extrovert level, I can totally do. And then I will disappear for a while. I need like 3 days to recover.
I think virtual is just as draining as in person though, because I think being an introvert doesn't necessarily mean that you don't want to just talk to people in person. Like I don't really want to talk to people at all. But we talked about that word passion. I have a passion for my people and I want us to all succeed. I'm just tired of seeing 32 barbershops on one corner, 32 hair salons, a Chinese store, a deli, a church, barbershop, salon. I just feel like if you guys could work together and maybe put something together, we can be more creative in what we're doing and we can all be successful in that way. So my passion has caused me to be in front of the camera right now. It's to the point where I have a hard time editing my videos because I hate listening to the sound of my voice. I just hate it all. But I'm like, I have to do it because I need to highlight these entrepreneurs. I need people to know about, our creative juices, and I need people to know that we're out here killing it and that you need to be a part of this. Linda said, "Me neither" on Facebook Live. Yeah, and then people are they're not really genuine. So I think that's kind of what helps you too. Like when you're out there, you're networking with people. Like you have a passion for what you're doing, and you're not just out here trying to get all the money, get all the money. Like you're really passionate. You want to help people. So I think that's awesome. We asked our guests if you had a billboard about your life, what would it say on a billboard?
To have joy in your journey.
Okay. Did you have any resources that you could share? Like, what's your best resource that has helped you be successful in business? It could be a book, a person, a movie that you watched.
I think that what has really helped me was being a part of chambers and the networking. That because what I learned very quickly when I moved to Delaware is that Delawareans are not, they're a little hard to get close to, especially with, Black people. And so it took my personality and my friendliness and my smile to and showing up. Because the whole thing is, I've heard people say, networking don't work. Networking don't work. Well, how many events have you gone to? How many people have you met? How many people have you talked to? How many people have you gotten to know? Networking only works when you network, when you put yourself out there. Now, I am an extrovert. I'm like my grandmother. I'm the social butterfly. That's just who I am. So last year, I thought, I'm not going to say it killed me, but just to say it was rough. And this past Saturday, I had an opportunity to go to a craft show that I just found out about at the last minute. And I was in my element, going from table to table, talking, laughing, talking to people, looking at their, things they were selling, inviting some out. I'm going to email some of the people I met to come to some of the events that the chamber's sponsoring this month and next month. Oh, I mean, Saturday was the best day I've had in a very long time. So I love it. Networking and being a part of the chamber is what really taught me a lot, because they had a lot of different workshops and things like that. I think that's what really has helped me with my business.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, networking and getting around a group of people that can help you succeed and you can help them is part of what we do with our organization as well. So I think that's awesome. I have Miss Esther's website on the screen, specialtouchcardcreations.com. So make sure you go check that out. Crystal, did you have any other questions?
I had have you contacted the hospital gift shop for your cards?
I have not. The hospital down here, which is Bay Health, I was in, my husband was a patient there, and I went in there. This was back in 2018, and I went into the gift store. I mean, I went into the little store that was in the hospital, and it wasn't really like a gift store. It was more like, a snack store. And Christiana Care, I'm not that familiar with Christiana Care. Those are the two main hospitals down where I live. So, but what I'm, like I said, my goal is to get gift stores. I had met a lady before the pandemic at an event, and she's a little bit further south from where I live, but she has a gift store. I don't know if she survived the pandemic. I'm not sure. Um, I'm not even really sure how to reconnect with her, but I just feel at this point, I just feel like some connections are going to be made. And talking about connector, I just wanted to make a comment on that also. When I joined the Newcastle County Chamber, I joined it in 14. From 15 to 19, I was a member. Um, Being a connector is very important, and not always thinking about yourself and your business is very important. I was able to not only bring in about 10 new members, but about five of them became ambassadors. And I was the first African American woman in 2018 to ever be given the award of Ambassador of the Year. So that was a really exciting time for me. And it has to do with being that connector. And that's why I really, Crystal, I really was happy to see the connector there, because I knew what it was all about.
Okay. Well, yeah, we definitely we have a chamber of commerce here that I forgot that I'm actually a member of until we had the conversation. When he hung up the phone, I was like, I'm actually a member of the chamber of commerce here. So let me get with them and start networking with them. And I'm glad that you came on the show. Make sure you check out specialtouchcardcreations.com. Make sure you are going to go beautiful with 2L's .com to shop for your vegan skincare.
And I also have a Facebook page.
What's the Facebook page?
Special Touch Card Creations.
All right. And make sure you check her out. Great conversation. Thank you all. Thanks for watching. And join besties.com. We have a business planner that we're selling. Yeah, no problem. I'm glad you came on. I hope people got inspired. I hope people know that it's never too late. And to keep pushing and to follow your dreams. And we will see you next time.